don't make any mistake or as little as possible so that they aren't able to be capitalised on by the opponent. Is it that high pressure right now?
You're always going to make mistakes. There's no game of Dota that's perfect. It's less about minimizing mistakes, but I think it's also about recognizing your opportunities, recognizing when you have the opportunity to capitalize on mistakes, where can you win the game, and then go for it.
Fogged, how do they approach this third game, Na'Vi?
I think they can just do pretty much what they did again this game. They first pick the Slardar again. They go for something very unorthodox like the Oracle, but they pretty much had their ideas. It looked like they had this idea of the draft throughout the whole stage of it. They didn't hesitate 1 second on that Huskar pick. You saw it went to the fifth pick and
went
boom,
straight in.
right away.
It was clearly a strat. In some ways, they sort of cheesed Alliance. I think Alliance, if they were up against a regular carry, they would have had that game for sure. But the Oracle plus Huskar combo kind of out of nowhere, and it was a perfect solution to everything that Alliance had. So I think Alliance, looking at that game, they had control of the game. They made some mistakes. They lost it. But I don't think they should sell themselves short on their ability to win Game 3. They can do it. I think they played better as a whole in the first 2 games. Just the Huskar was way too hard to beat.
Do we see a ban? Is it worth the ban?
If there's an Oracle, yes.
If there's
an Oracle or a Dazzle, keep it in the back of your mind.
Yep. Keep it for phase 2 maybe, but it's not the first time they've been Huskar'd, is it?
It's not. Last time they got Huskard was against OG, I believe, and they also lost that game. They had a great draft. That was an epicenter.
Yeah.
It was a little tough.
Am I thinking differently, or was there a Romanesky game as well they got Huskarded?
Maybe farther back, yeah.
Yeah, a bit further back maybe, but yeah, I mean, it's not the first time. They know it's possible, and I would imagine they want to cover it, and as you said, if there's an Oracle in it, then probably a good idea. What does that leave open for Alliance to play, Charlie?
Ooh.
We saw the crazy draft in game 1, more of a standardy sort of Alliance draft. Game 2, where did they go for game 3? Is it more of the same, or is it mix up something? Have they got something special?
Maybe a puck.
Maybe a puck.
Maybe a $1 million dream car. We'll see.
That would be nice.
It is a magical game 3. We'll see what Alliance pulls out.
I did like a point that Charlie made though. Like, you can do all the split push and everything, but at some point you're gonna have to win the team fight. So I think maybe focusing a little bit more on team fight coming into the next draft, but not changing everything up too much, because this game was extremely close. They can't change everything up. They can't have it influencing their decisions too much.
Yeah. Okay. Purge, what do you make of the 2 teams in terms of the way that they might draft for game 3?
Man, drafting can go both ways, but they got to be cohesive. I think Na'Vi played a lot more cohesive that game than Alliance did. That's how they have to approach it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We're not too far away from that draft right now. I can see the players all getting back together in the booth and getting settled. Mentality is important right now, Charlie. As a manager, what would you have said to the boys in the break outside?
Well, for both teams, they should know that they both have the capability to win. It's just about playing under pressure, about not just realizing that, hey, this is another match, this is another step in our progression, not just for this turn, but for TI. So don't get too nervous. Don't worry too much about the crowd or what this means. Worry about just your play style and performing well.
Yep. How easy is it for players not too far away from us right now on a big stage in front of a large crowd, a very noisy, passionate crowd? How easy is it to block all of that out, especially when there's windows all around you?
Well, I've never been that far, unfortunately. You know, I've been on the stage, but not.
You should check with IX Mike.
So much. Yeah, I guess I should, huh? He's been there a lot more than me as well. Huh? But
I just thought I'd burn you back for Mike. That's all. I'm just getting you back for Mike.
It's okay. We all love Mike. It's all in good fun. No, they just the nerves definitely are going to come. But Alliance is a team that's been here many times before. Na'Vi as well. I'm sure they can just push it out of their minds.
I'm just intrigued by how do you block all of that out? It just looks impossible from the outsider's point of view.
Well, when you do it so many times over and over again, it sort of becomes second nature. Like this is, like Fogg said, this is not the first time these teams have been in this position, elimination match, especially against each other, with tons of fans around. The booths, I mean, you can definitely hear the crowd, but you know, at some point, it just becomes routine.
Okay, draft is underway. 3 picks already as well. Quick picks. Bounty Hunter Batrider this time round for Na'Vi, and a Slardar on Alliance. Things are being mixed up this time round.
Big change up.
Yep, Mirana also banned out. That's been a very popular go-to for Na'Vi recently.
Pretty consistently general playing that in the offlane. But Bounty Bat is pretty scary. has really good roaming potential, great initiation as well. So it's going to be even harder for Alliance to high ground this game.
Very interesting,
surprise.
though. Like the bounty. Yeah,
I'm shocked.
definitely expected it, but the bounty wasn't really so contested in the last 2 games, was it? I don't even really think.
No, not so much.
Right?
I think we've seen bans for it,
Yeah.
but not early bans anyway.
It wasn't banned in this series, not at least the first game, and now it's picked in the first 2. Very interesting approach. I guess they want to change it up a bit. I feel like this is playing to their play style.
It,
The brood has been
Definitely
banned.
the brood ban. Absolutely.
No more Admiral Brood Mother.
that was one possibility there, is if they open Slardar and their opponents take bounty, then they can't take brood in the first phase. And on top of that, if the game is anything like game 1, then Track's going to help offset that gold deficit they have by fighting all the time. So if they play like game 1 and they have a bounty on their team and they get the equal amount of kills, they're going to win that game.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great point. In both games, you've seen Na'Vi constantly trying to take the fight to Alliance. And in game 1, they sacrificed a lot of farm and a lot of CS for it. But you're right, bounty does make up for that.
And we do have the switch up this time, too. Na'Vi is now on Radiant. They played 2 games back-to-back on Dire. Now we do have Alliance on the Dire, and they first picked the Slardar. Or, well, second pick the Slardar.
That's a good advantage to have on Dire, because easy Roche.
Yeah.
You saw it multiple times last game, except for those 2.
We saw it in the previous series as well with Cole versus Liquid. Liquid gained a lot of momentum despite being pressured early by Cole. They got back into that game by being able to take Roshans.
He's coming back. Slardar on Dire.
Dire advantage.
Dire advantage.
Dire boys.
We did comment on it earlier as well. We were like, oh, do you think that did the Dire actually make such a big difference? And I think in the last game it really did. They were constantly able to just go for that Roshan.
It was very weird to watch that game because I was like, Alliance is way ahead. I'm pretty sure they're going to win this game. And they just got a Roche, and it didn't faze me at all. I was like, well, they're way ahead. They still get easy Roches, but whatever. Like that was how far ahead it felt. And they just got Roches so easily.
I like this. They ban the Dazzle and they take the Venge. So I feel like this is kind of a deny pick from Alliance, because now they don't have the easy swap to get rid of the Batrider lasso. They don't have that extra amp damage. They don't have, of course, the aura that comes out from the Venge, which helps you gain more physical damage, gives you more objective taking.
It's really good synergy with Slardar as well, more minus armor. There's still a Lifestealer in the pool, actually, although Alliance is slightly more covered against it due to having Slar. Venge kind of works too, though, as does Batrider.
Yeah.
But I would like a Lifestealer pick for Na'Vi.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works so well with our lineup, and Lifestealer is great with track movement speed as well.
And now we do get...
You can Infest Bomb on Bat or Bounty.
Yeah, both of those heroes are great Infest Bombs. And yeah, like Charlie was saying that.
Okay, a little different.
Okay.
We're going back to Na'Vi from a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month ago now.
I'm a big fan of this pick. I'm a big fan of this pick. The Venge Aura works well with Lycan, and isn't its win rate in this tournament ridiculous?
The Lycan? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pertaining a lot to, obviously,
To Liquid.
the Matumba.
But I think they've shown that hero is it's great. It's not just Liquid playing it. It's also that hero does so much for your team.
And I have to play the young Nahaz role right here. In the Na'Vi with Lycan have an 81% win rate right now. So pretty absurd. And it plays really well around their style. Hal is very good in the laning phase, and then they're able to take, this is basically their objective hero. So I really like this pickup, and it fits Dichira's style, where he's like that mid-game eccentric, just run at you.
There's also that worry if Bounty Hunter doesn't have a great laning stage, doesn't get to fast level 6, Lycan this time can just go into the jungle, and then Lycan, Bounty Hunter can take the lane.
You don't really always want to have your bounty showing so much in the lane, but yeah, if he does struggle a bit throughout the laning phase, he's able to take that as one of his possibilities. So yeah, I really like that, and I agree. And we do see the Lycan, or the Alliance picking up Phoenix here.
Yeah, which has seen quite a bit of action today and has improved its win rate. It was teetering down towards the 23% win rate before today. It's now back up to 33.3. Third most picked hero of the tournament so far as well, so very popular still.
Usually when we've seen Phoenix have success, it's when it's comboed with something.
And Navi does the respect and bans out the puck, and instantly we get the Queen of Pain for S4.
And the Windrunner band out for Dendy.
It's a good co-op game, actually. There's pretty little lockdown on Navi, just Venge Stun and Lasso. I like Phoenix here as well. A little combo up after Slaughter initiations. It's good against Strength Heroes.
Does the crowd
What
want like
is
a
this?
Dendy
What is-
Pudge or something?
Yeah, this
is
guy's
it?
getting
Dendy Pudge
rowdy.
Is there an emergency?
Dendy Pudge mid.
As much as hype as that would be, I'd be really surprised if they picked it here.
Me too. Already had 92 different heroes picked a record at Valve events.
There is still the Invoker,
There is still the Invoker.
There
That's
is
the one I was
still
about to
Complete-
comment on as well.
completely untouched this series.
It's a good Invoker game. Something range would be really good to deal with the eggs. Right now, they don't have a lot of good egg solutions. A little bit of anti-mobility, maybe an Orchid carrier.
He's played Marana mid before. Oh, wait, we were saying it's banned. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's banned first phase.
Yeah, there is the
They did okay.
Invoker.
Yeah. There's the last hero left there, and it synergizes really well with their heroes.
Really good
Okay.
pushing, good at ganking, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crowd seem happy with that as well. Is Charlie happy with that?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Navi just because I love General on Bat Rider.
And because you went with your predictions for 2-1.
No, I don't care. About
Nothing
my,
to
I
do
don't
with
care
that.
about my predictions whatsoever.
Purge.
I think I like Navi's draft better here, definitely. Alliance got to shut down the bounty.
Yep.
Okay. You've heard from the analysts. Time to move on for our third and final game of the night. It's the final match of the night as well. Let's head back to the commentary desk for Alliance versus Navi Game 3.
Not the first time that we've seen a Navi Alliance series go the distance, and hopefully not the last. Ben, who are you favoring heading into this game?
I'm gonna say I like Navi's lineup a lot more.
All right, well, that seems like a clean sweep for Navi as far as the analysts go, but analysts have been wrong before. We'll see if they're wrong again. As we get underway, it's Navi versus Alliance, Game 3. Let's go!
Navi versus Alliance.
Here we are. The last time we'll be seeing this map today. Some really signature picks coming out for the new Navi. Ben, they've done a ton of work with the Bounty Hunter. Already at length, the panel talked about the General Bat Rider. You see the players.
Lycan.
The DRL Lycan, probably the biggest thing going back to Dream League. They won like 6 or 7 matches in a row, I want to say, and almost every single one, he had a Lycan, easy stomp.
But I heard a crowd cheer for the Bulldog, Nature's Prophet, sitting in base, sending out Trains to Scout, S4 on his signature Queen of Pain. So it's coming out on both sides.
You do not ban Nature's Prophet when playing versus Alliance because you think you can beat it. Will this man prove the hero,
You're a memer.
or will he get shut down? I got a chuckle out of you.
I wonder how
You've
that's going
changed.
to end.
You've
You didn't complete it. You don't know how it's going to end.
Yeah, well, that's how all stories go. Sometimes the ending changes. Let's see how the runes go for now. 15 seconds and counting until they will appear. It's going to be a standard laning setup, and I want to say, very importantly, this is the first game in the series where Alliance is not aggressive tri-laning. That is a big difference from the past 2.
Every time I think I've seen them do it, they had Rubik and Dazzle, and that was banned out in the second phase for Navi. Vent would have been appropriate.
They did it with Keeper of the Light yesterday versus Mineski, but yeah, generally has been. So S4 will take the Queen of Pain mid, was a staple hero for him back when he was on Secret. Often would even played in the safe lane with Arteezy going mid. And Dandy on his signature Invoker. Hasn't played it too much over the past couple years, but already looks like he takes the point at Quas. What do you think as far as the Invoker build? It's pretty early, but do you favor Quas Wex or Quas Exhort here?
It seems like he's going Quas Wex because of the early Quas. Generally, you get Exort level 1 if you're doing Quas Exort, so you can last hit. I think the Quas is much better at handling the Slardar and the Queen of Pain. The Orchid's also extremely good versus the Phoenix and the Rubik in the early game. I am slightly worried about them scaling later. It's not like they have the General Marana with the Ags upgrade.
Andy going in here with the Cold Snap, and does have the Howl damage as well to work with in the mid lane. So you can see some good teamwork here. As soon as the Howl gets popped, he immediately throws in the Cold Snap, tries to get in that bit of chip on S4. They have some physical damage, even if he goes Quas Wex, and yeah, there you go. Dendy does take the point of Wex, so a big decision to be made for Navi is now, at least for the time being, on the table. as the ward battle rages in the mid lane, but Seneko able to keep Alliance deprived of sentries here, so it's going to force the Phoenix to stick around lest S4 get overrun. This lane, mid lane, back and forth early on, a 2v2. Thus far, we see free farm for the Lycan down towards bottom, up in the safe lane. Some aggression out of the Batrider, who may end up going down here. He will fall in the end. General brought down as Alliance chase him out. EGM and Loda combining, so a crucial first blood, slowing down the Bat.
And it doesn't look like there's any time to stack too much for him. He does have the double large camp, Ake and Seneko around the pit.
Ake gonna drop just a freebie for Seneko to get the bounty room, but was it worth it?
Yeah, very slow on the die there. It is on cooldown, but just not casting in time. Seneko, I think, interrupting the first one with the... Actually, it has no cast point, so can't interrupt it, but that was strange.
Yeah, so overall, an interesting start to this game. A little bit more action than what we've seen in some previous. The double damager now gets scooped up by Artstyle. Has been occupying the bottom lane, looking to ensure the Lycan is off to a hot start. So far he has been, but they've not dealt with Bulldog. Level 3.5 Ben. Basically as close to a dream start for an off-lane Prophet who's not getting help as you'll ever see, but it's coming at the cost of S4 mid. Ooh, Seneko trying to go in there. Didn't quite have the burst damage to kill him off, but be careful about that cold snap into Tornado, which he does have the 2 points in Quas now.
I don't think they're too worried about the nature product
because they are going with the cold snap. Shuriken and, ooh, Dendi. Didn't go for the Tornado.
No mana. I think the Nature's Prophet will be handled pretty easily by a Bounty Hunter. Even if they don't have the Bounty Hunter to scout him out, they have the Wolves. And Batrider also poses a very large threat to a farmed NP. But then again, it is Bulldog's NP, very good at farming around without dying and scouting out with his treants to look for those threats.
Yeah, they have a lot of heroes to hunt Prophet later on. The Wave of Terror for some vision, the Invoker for the Tornado, and obviously you mentioned the Bounty Hunter, the Bat. Gonna be easy for Bulldog, but he's done it against all odds before. He is farming well here. So too is Loda up top on the slaughter. Not only gets the first blood, but gets a lot of farm after that. Seneko drives Bulldog a bit back out of the lane. We will see a bit of a response forced out from Navi, who aren't having the easiest time dealing with this dual lane. And if things get dire for Bulldog, he can always retreat back to the woods. Seneko still pursuing Ake all over the map. The swoop's already been committed here. Doesn't have an Icarus dive ready. Seneko looking to run him down with those daggers. Doesn't completely commit for a kill or anything, but putting pressure out everywhere he goes. And Ake definitely looking like it's going to be an underleveled Phoenix to get this game started.
In general, doing a very large stack right now. 7 napalm stacks on this huge camp, and
no real pressure. They are free farming the Slardar as a trade. Considering that he's already died once, General really needs this catch and gold, and Seneko's getting a lot of experience out of it too, Ben.
And Rubik was scouting out the other stack, seeing how large it is. There is only a 2 stack, but they would love to get their hands on that with the Queen of Pain.
We are going to see a very fast level 6 on Seneko. Unless something disastrous happens to him. This Bounty Hunter is going to have a great game, at least through the early stages. Also, Artstyle getting his levels here, already 4. Navi support's getting a ton out of the laning stage.
EGM keeping right behind Bulldog to make sure that there's not an attempted maneuver.
Here comes the rotation though. Artstyle with the instant TB, but EGM ready there with the lift. Alliance bring in 3. They get the kill on the Venge. And they do this while the Slardar is still unchecked, already level 6, free farming top, already forcing out a glyph. General rotates into the lane, but General is level 3. The Bounty Hunter leeching the experience. The trade-off is he is looking rather underleveled.
Yeah, not really that close to his Link Dagger. As long as he keeps stacking, it'll be fine. Dendi looks like he's building an urn after his early phase. And yeah, Seneko, as you mentioned, I think his levels are more important. Seneko with the courier snipe.
He shoots, he scores. An easy pick there for Seneko. He can move in onto S4 potentially. Not gonna go for it. S4 actually blinks on Dendi. They get punished. Rubik's there. Alliance have the +1, but so too is the Batrider. Unfortunately, it's a very underleveled and very underwhelming Batrider at this stage. Seneko's doing more at this point. Even Artstyle getting involved. Everybody mid, and nobody dies.
Thought EGM almost had Bounty Hunter there. He didn't pop the dust when he was near the Ancients. Not sure if Seneko was hiding around there or maybe holding up for Dendi's Ghost Walk instead.
S4 is getting handed on this game. Even the Wolves. Navi don't like him very much.
He's managed to pick up a couple of runes though. That will certainly help him out. Arcane now DD.
Definitely handling the pressure well thus far. So what are we going to see out of Loda, do you think, this go? S4. Already has Ake there ready in reserve.
He likes his Vanguard a lot. On
Do you
Slardar.
thoughts on that versus Armlet, I guess, being the most direct alternative option, and then versus just like a straight blink this game?
The games I've seen him go the Vanguard, it's been against some sort of summons, like Beastmaster. This game will be Lycan. The Invoker isn't Quaswex, so no Force Spirits. But I think in general, Armlet is just way stronger than the Vanguard right now.
Bulldog, this is a really bad kill if he gives it up, and they are moving onto him. Goes for the Sprout, catches up Seneko, then crushes on 2. Loda was ready for it. Navi overextending, they give both up. Alliance spring the trap. Beautiful stuff from the Swedes, and Bulldog prances away, twirls around the wand, playing to the crowd a bit.
Very good Sprout by him too. I thought he might have been able to trap himself inside, but great TP by Loda, level 6, picks up the +1 on the Bounty Hunter with the Amp.
Now gives up the lane, is up towards top. Our Batrider being pressured here. The Sunray's going, they've lifted him up. General dead again. This Batrider, Fog talked about how much General has done in past games, but he's just not getting the start he's accustomed to.
Now they need Dendy to get involved. He's Quaswex, he has his earn time to get some kills on him, especially with his other lanes not doing so hot.
So where do you focus your attention? Slardar with a Vanguard seems like a difficult kill.
I think as long as you just make maneuvers, you don't even need to get kills. You just need to relieve pressure from the Batrider because he needs to farm his blink. He's only level 4 right now. He needs to get back in this game very quickly.
Artstyle is now under the watchful gaze of Ake with the amp damage. Same time of Lance is picked up by the Lycan.
Alternatively, they could wait until Bounty Hunter gets level 6. So Seneco's just parked on bottom. Won't need his tome to get level 6. And can get some kills there. Phoenix still pretty underleveled, might be a pretty good target for them. And no Blink Dagger or Slardar means they don't really have to fear about Alliance's very deep dives unless Nature Prophet teams in. But he typically doesn't do it this early.
They do get the follow-up amp damage out. Oh, the tower does get denied by Dityara. Nice rotation there. He TP'd in to summon the Wolves and scout for the potential backstab at the tower, then even manages to deny it. Great micro from him. Limiting the income here for Alliance. S4 able to blink out before Dendy can do much to him. Still a quiet game for the Invoker. And with the Batrider having the start he did, it really does seem like it falls to Dendy. General is closing out on the blink though. He's hit level 6. He does skill the lasso right away. So the lasso coming. Alliance are a pretty good counter gank team with the NP. Even the Phoenix Sunray to turn things around. The Queen of Pain, very mobile and has a lot of burst.
And EGM's looking to kill. He has Magic Missile already stolen. And surely gonna steal a good spell from Invoker. Yara smoked up with Seneko.
Gets the Tornado. Trying to make a move here on bottom. Bulldog has died. Or almost died once, I should say. Will this time be any better? They move in on him again. Yara chasing after, and the damage will come fast and furious if they commit inside the Sprout, but they're not going to. They just immediately bait out TPs, try to run away. Oh no, S4 committing the ultimate. Unable to net a kill. This time it's Alliance who overreact and don't get much out of it.
Man, that was a very quick reaction out there from Alliance. Nature's Prophet does not have that much HP, only 900 yet. He was still able to survive that gank coming out from Navi. However, it will be General's time. 10.5 minutes, blink, no smoke in sight for him, but ready to use that lasso.
So where does he go? Nobody showing top. Really the only vision for the Radiant is towards that mid lane.
I think slowing down Bulldog would be wise for them, especially because he's so close to his Midas. They know that he hasn't picked up Maelstrom in his recent games and likely to continue his trend of hand up Midas.
Alliance do move into the pit now. They have amp damage, they have Triumph to tank. This will be a reasonably fast clip for the Roche.
Let's see if the Wolves scout it out. It will finish a camp out right now. Dityara sitting pretty low on mana, maybe not wanting to blow the rest of his pull on it.
They're moving towards the pit. Batrider leading the charge here. General marshaling his forces. Roshan still at around half HP. Sentry outside the pit, though. Good scout Seneko. There's the blink initiation. Drags Loda up onto the cliff, keeping the Slardar out of this picture for a long time. Loda won't be able to contribute much, and that will put a pretty big halt to the Roshan. Now the EMP Tornado following this one up, but the counter Tornado comes out from EGM. Bulldog's trapped and sprouts himself inside to the pit, looks to run away. Artstyle cancels that. First track kill that came to Na'Vi, and the whole team's here in Loda is still completely a non-factor in this fight. It begins with the General Bat after an awful start. They look to steal the Roche while also killing the big fish. They've gotten 3. They've gotten a 4-hero track kill, and now it's Na'Vi trying to snatch an Aegis right away from Alliance, who double buyback to prevent this. Na'Vi may just walk away. They've gotten a lot out of this already. I say walk away. Na'Vi says run in twice as hard. They move forward. Dendi fishing with the Tornado. EMP on the Loda. Has no mana. Absolutely drained. Can't even amp the Roche.
Man, Betty regrets not getting a blink now. Sitting on the high ground must have just been agonizing for him to
And it was
watch.
a very slow death.
And Na'Vi not picking up any sentries. They really need these wolves to be able to freely scout out Roche, but in all that hectic happenings, I don't really blame them.
It's Loda's turn to have a pretty rough going here. Last game it was Dityara, but Roshan is...
No team really wants to leave that pit. Dire has the amp, Radiant has Lycan with the Vladimir's offering.
And they
it's
have
going to be taken
and
down.
they have Quaswex Invoker. It's just so good at zoning around there.
And now Batrider has his lasso up again. Supernova not quite off cooldown.
Alliance still hanging around the pit. I think more worried about Na'Vi taking than about even trying to go for themselves. Loda, got to be careful here. It would be a 13-minute dieback if General grabs him. He goes for EGM though. Loda's going to have to pursue him out, but the Wolves surround him. That's a track kill again. Na'Vi finding big kills here. The gold is going to add up rather rapidly at that. They've now tracked Loda. They're just waiting for that crush to come out before they fully commit, but he's getting cold snapped down into submission. Na'Vi have gotten a second kill. Now they want to disengage as 4 chases forward onto Dendi. Will find the counter kill here. They might get the Lycan as well. Arcstyle burning to the Sunray. Ake should be able to finish him off. That's going to be a 2 for 2 with Na'Vi getting track kills. Does anyone get Roche off of this?
Alliance are suffering heavy economical damage though. 2 buybacks, and then now they're falling behind because of trap kills. Even if they get the Roche, I would still think that Na'Vi has come out ahead in the past 5 minutes time. Na'Vi unable to snag that T1. They wanted that T1 so they could feel much better about taking down that Roshan.
And the Wolves keep on marching in. Sentries are here, but Na'Vi just keeping tabs around the pit.
And
This
General,
time, though, General has no lasso. Nobody really in position, but as I say that, 4 Na'Vi heroes are moving forward. They are going to look to contest this. Not even a flame break available. Tower going down freely to the Radiant. They're just so hell-bent on this Roshan, who collapsed Alliance. He is displeased with the number of occupying forces. This is my pit, he says. Get out of here. They're trying to heal him up. There's the Sunray from Ake, but Na'Vi converge on it. There's the swoop through, trying to jump forward. General leaping into the pit. S4 is going to grab the Aegis. It is a dire last hit, so far, so good for Alliance. At long last, they get that Roche, but they lose Loda again. Out for 40. It's up to S4 to turn this. He gets swapped back into the rest of the team. Na'Vi didn't seem to be expecting as they were all heading the other way, but they cracked the Aegis. They move forward. Do they chase for additional kills? They're very low at this point. And S4, he's angry with how things have gone. Blinks up onto the high ground. Shadow strikes Dendi. Looking for the follow-up kills here. 2 have fallen. So they get more. Bulldog chases. Stops the Midas to creep. And that'll be that.
thought he was really close to hitting a blind scream coming out from S4.
Actually got clipped by the Ghost Walk slow there as he moved in and just didn't end up finding the angle.
And not enough resources left. I think for that first bout they had a couple of cells, a couple of clarities, just in case there was a very extended fight, but they didn't think that it was going to last another 2 minutes. And not enough resources left in General's arsenal.
They did at least immediately get rid of the Aegis, so overall, considering that Alliance were looking to take it for free, still seems decent for Na'Vi, but let's do regain some footing now off of that. You see first Oblivion stat for S4. So far the leader overall in net worth. Low Bulldog is on a more of a traditional Bulldog carry here for game 3.
The biggest loser was Loda. I think he had his Vanguard and Treads maybe 6 minutes ago, and he's just evened out in net worth over the last 6 minutes time, and he wasn't able to.
Nowhere near a blink.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a dream at this point for Loda. Dream deferred.
Yeah, they really struggled last game with S4 falling behind, and this game it might be the same story with Loda.
Yeah,
But there's NP there.
Yeah, there's a Midas NP. But as we talked about, it's not like the easiest Nature's Prophet game. Bulldog is going to have to play his pants off to avoid giving up kills later on. Wex is leveling up. Dendy has gone for the Midas, so he'll scale well into the late game if it goes to that, and especially since he's got track gold as well. Getting those additional levels, keeping up his farm. What do you expect from the Invoker next? Is it definitely an Orchid game? He has purchased that casual Ring of Regen for now.
I thought it was going to be Orchid, but he's not doing that well. I actually think it might have been better for him to go Quas Exhort at this point.
We saw, I think it was MP when Quas Wex into a mech one game. He actually got the mech before the Midas.
That's not bad.
Any chance of a mech here?
I think the armor is very useful versus the Slardar, and they've been team fighting a lot. They're likely to continue team fighting because of the Bounty Hunter and Lycan. I think it'd be well justified.
Showing two mid while simultaneously coming on the top side, and they lasso S4. He generally actually drags himself back into Loda, who gets off the crush, trying to rev up for the Sonic Wave, but he's totally chain stunned. Locked down. Loda next. Loda will fall. That is two gigantic kills for Na'Vi, who
Also managed to take down the tower mid in this time. It was denied by Bulldog.
a consolation prize, but very much consolation. The real prize was those kills.
And General's Batrider just been a completely different story as soon as he got his Blink Dagger.
He had a terrible start, too. Gives up first blood, level 3 when Loda was 6, but man, has he turned it around.
On the bottom lane, Bulldog getting chased down.
Oh, this is another track guild. No escape for Bulldog. It's not going to be an easy game for him, and Na'Vi show why. The matchup just very difficult for Nature's Prophet.
And all three cores on Alliance are suffering now. Before it was only Loda, now it's Nature's Prophet committing for the split push build with the Midas to a Scepter. Queen of Pain just won Oblivion Staff to her name. They need to keep up their items. They're still doing decently compared to the counterparts of Na'Vi, but
How do you regain your footing if you're Alliance?
get Blink on Slaughter and get more kills.
They're going to smoke. Don't have the blink yet, but they do have an Orchid soon to come for S4.
Rubik also needs a decent amount of farm so he can counter-initiate the Batrider. Slaughter's cast point is generally just not quick enough, and he doesn't have a blink, but Rubik's cast point is really fast, and they can pull someone back after they get lassoed.
I brought up the idea of the late Invoker map, but forget about that. You've got Seneko who's already managed to get one. 19 minutes. And while that was going on, Dire Courier does get sniped here. So more gold, probably the Bounty Hunter who killed it.
So looks like maybe Alliance are just trying to spread out the map a lot. If they do incur casualties, hopefully it won't be too many for them.
The Wolves are scouting. Na'Vi on the prowl. But they're a bit slow here. Getting eyes on EGM, seeing the whole Alliance retreat. This could set up for Dendy. Does he hit a big tornado? That could start a really key fight. Just catching the Rubik for now, who steals Ghost Walk. EGM will walk away.
Nice play from EGM. Dropping the Sentry Ward to know that they were going to scout out with the Lycan Wolves first.
Still attacks though, and one of the, I think, slightly forgotten things about Lycan is just how much map control it gives you, not only from the pushing aspect of the hero, but from the scouting the Wolves bring.
And I don't think they'll be in a position to carry a gem for quite some time to come.
Not to mention gold could be an issue here. Alliance don't have track unless EGM manages to steal that. It is possible the way he's been playing on Rubik this tournament.
And now Necro 3 up on Didier Ra, ensuring some more map control out for Na'Vi.
General hunting. Already has the Force Staff up to another 1,300 gold. Just see from his movements that he feels like he's in control of this game. He can fish deep for kills, take some risks. While he's doing that, they're layering in some additional vision. Seneko plopping down a ward that scouts out Alliance farming their own woods. S4 blinking in. I think might have gotten a glimpse of him there. The whole team reacts to it. Bulldog doesn't. Bulldog stays bottom. He looks to push that lane out. The real clash likely to happen here top. This General waits in the wings. Alliance are playing a little scared though. But definitely feels...
I think it's just what they like to do. It's the let's just split push and taunt, which is what Admiral Bulldog was doing.
2 minutes. 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 2 minutes No cooldown on that, apparently. Has gone for the eggs. So is this like full rat mode here? You go Octarine. We've seen him even go Octarine Refresher very early.
I think they just want to pressure the Bat and the Bounty Hunter to be forced to split push out lanes as opposed to look for kills, because that's what they're best at, and they're not that great at pushing out lanes, especially with Bat Rider not having the boots to travel up. So if they're forced to do that, they're not getting track gold, they're not using one of the main points of their lineup. I just worry for Alliance when Na'Vi want to pursue Roshan number 2.
Yeah, Na'Vi are taking the complete opposite approach. Where Alliance want to split push with the Nature's Prophet, they want a 5-man. They have a Crimson Guard on art style.
Yeah, how do you
and they have
farm that?
Track, I guess.
I suppose.
Yeah. As well as the mech on the Bounty Hunter. So it really looks like Na'Vi just want to rush at Alliance and take head-on fights.
And Wolf in the back will scout out. Alliance is positioning just outside the vision of the Sentry Ward, so they know exactly where they are, and if they were smoked, they'd be in for quite a rude surprise. But it will scout out the fresh new blink on the Slardar, so they won't get caught off guard by that.
They are grouping up here. They get down a deep ward, but it's under a Dire Sentry. And Alliance are going to immediately smoke and move in. They're looking for the jump here. Who do they get first? Loda whiff on the crush to start this thing off, and now General going for the deep blast on S4. Can they burst him at Queen of Pain? It is so important. He chucks out the ult, but it's as he dies with his last breath. They're already down to Queen of Pain and a Phoenix. They've gotten nothing out of this fight so far. And Alliance losing 3 in the end and blowing a buyback on the Phoenix, while Na'Vi still look to push.
Great illusion control by Invoker, but that's a critical mistake by Loda. The Invoker illusions don't have any orbs on them. It's quite obvious that they are not the real Invokers, and after that happened, Na'Vi just swooped in.
Looking a bit bleak for the head-on fights right now for Alliance.
Yeah, again, they're looking for head-on fights when I don't think they should be. Nature's Prophet with his axe just split push out the lanes. Sure, you're going to lose a tower here and there, but unless they're knocking on your tier 3s, then they don't need a hard commit to a defense. And looking for more skirmishing fights, perhaps around the Roshan pit, with the help of the egg, with Queen of Pain being very good around that pit, and need more items to deal with Na'Vi's lineup. A little bit more armor, maybe a Lincoln to deal with the Bat Rider, BKB to deal with the Invoker. They're just not in fighting shape right now. Still need time for Admiral Bulldog to get those lanes pushed out, for that minus to kick in.
And Na'Vi, all they want to do is fight now. They actually have level 2 track already.
Oh,
so they
General.
go moving down bottom to debut that level 2 track. S4 has been scouted out here. Tornado gonna catch him. They've gotten the track on him. That's a big bucket of gold for Na'Vi. I think 3 heroes in range for that. And it's a long time on the sidelines. But Alliance are split pushing here. Bulldog in the mid lane with Loda at his side. Phoenix working on top. Still though, these track kills are really gonna add up. That one alone was almost 1,300.
In general, with the early gem pickup, looking to ruin any of Alliance's vision on their side of the map and limit the area that Nature's Prophet can farm, but Admiral Bulldog feeling very comfortable near the Radiant Secret Shop, knowing that Na'Vi's around the Roshan pit.
They do move on to General here. They catch him out. That gem is crucial, but he 4 steps away, and now Na'Vi may look to chase as they were completing Roshan at the same moment. Oh, Bulldog barely making out the flame break just a second late. Dendi also chasing for more. So Na'Vi, they have their cake. They don't get to eat it too, but they come damn close there.
Yeah, Alliance were trying to make the best out of a bad situation where S4 was down and Na'Vi were surely in the pit, hoping for a 3-on-1 gang up.
Dendi will work towards the Orchid now, it looks like. Gets the Oblivion Staff. I think just bought the second. So he's closing in on something that will set up for even more kills, and BOT's now online for General, hunting for Bulldog. The long-range Tornado comes out. They will actually clip, and they're going to go for this one. Lasso dragging Bulldog back. He thought he was safe. He was at his tier 2, but it's under your tower. Well, Na'Vi will dive you, kill you. This time they won't take the tower too, but they're coming for that next.
I don't think Na'Vi had banned out Nature's Prophet in any of these games. It's clearly showing that they're more than able to handle it.
It almost feels like it was a trap for Alliance with the way this game is going.
And now, yeah, the Wex from Invoker really paying off with that Tornado. Jeez.
Yeah, we worried a little bit about the burst damage and the fall for
swap
kills.
coming in.
Mid lane.
Just on an illusion.
Got it.
Got him indeed.
That's just Na'Vi marking the territory. Mid lane is ours, they say. So Alliance, if Bulldog is getting punished like that split pushing, he's at his tier 2. What's the adjustment? Because they can't sit back, right? Surely at that point, Navi's just going to walk down mid.
I think they get the good team fight once they get a BKB or two. Queen of Pain's still quite vulnerable. And that's a big window for Dendi. He has an Orchid, and Queen of Pain does not even have her hammer yet. So Ake could get picked off. Actually, anyone can get picked off from Alliance now.
Not again. The BOT level 2s are out already. 27 minutes in. This is truly Navi's secret weapon.
It is,
but it's not so much of a
facing
secret
Alliance
anymore. This is the extermination squad. The mouse traps will be set. Will Bulldog try to eat the cheese?
Maybe not as useful as last game because they do have the Lycan Wolves to TP on, but Lycan, you know, sometimes you just want to farm with those Wolfies.
They may even just be pushing a lane straight up, and that's where the Bounty Hunter or the Invoker could be the ideal place to deploy. Navi creeping in towards the Ancients. They're going to look to unveil this thing momentarily. Alliance are very halting and nervous. They said something's up. They back out.
They have a newly acquired gem on GM, so
here we go. Oh, good reactions there by Ake. That is going to debut the BOT level 2s. Instead, they chase onto EGM here. General may go for him instead. The track comes out. They're literally diving him to the tier 3 tower. Where's my team, says EGM. Oh, they're not there. That's for damn sure. Ake dies as well. 2 down. But the team, they're split pushing.
And
working
that's
on top
a
of
lost
mid.
gem. Art style with EGM's gem in his inventory. That's a heavy blow to Alliance.
They're trying for the trades here, Ben, but track's already starting to come out up on the top side of the map. Loda eats a shuriken, does have to back away. None of these trades really seem to be working out thus far for Alliance, but is there really anything else they can do? Like, can they come home and fight in that situation?
Rely on the split push from Prophet. That's about all they can do at this point until they get BKBs. S4 did not die in that recent skirmish. Just a couple hundred away from that BKB.
Closes in on it, but while he does, Dendi continues to hunt. Oh, just missing on Bulldog.
I'm worried about the damage output.
Or did he? The Wolf is scouting. The Wolf is at Bulldog's door. Are they going to go for it? I think I got a glimpse of him there. But Dendi's dancing back. Looks like the rest of Alliance headed towards the bottom side of the map. Sitting behind Loda for now.
Maybe waiting for the BOT2s up on Bat Rider. It's up in 15 seconds. Once they get a scout out with Invoker, they can get a kill.
Yeah, Na'Vi know at this point that the track kills mean so much that they don't have to try to force them too much. Just 1 or 2 will continue to snowball that gold graph their way. Get another big item to break the base. They now have pretty much every big pushing item aside from a pipe, I believe. Drums, Vlads, AC, Necro Book, Crimson Guard, Mech. This team is devastating in 5-man. They're going to start it off by chipping away at Loda here. The Slardar is instantly forced to run. He goes back the other way, and he still gets lassoed. That's another track kill. Na'Vi raking in the gold at this point. Every kill probably bordering on like 1,500 to 2,000 in net worth swing.
And finally, Nature's Prophet will get a brief respite and can push out the top lane, but doesn't really mean that much. Invoker, Bat Rider, Bounty Hunter constantly scouting out for kills, even the Wolves coming out from Ditya Ra. And no one from Alliance can really feel safe for more than a minute at a time.
They are feeling the pressure. Hugging the base, running as a pack, Na'Vi hunting as a pack. Total polar opposite play here. Even Bulldog just hiding in the trees. He had to go for a 4-staff even, just in hopes of being able to live from some of these ganks. Na'Vi taking objectives now. Ditya Ra mowing down towers. That is the second to last tier 2, matching Alliance more or less as far as the push goes, and even more 5-man from the items for Na'Vi. Greaves up on the Bounty Hunter, 4-staff on the Venge. It's not really like a traditional team fight lineup, Ben, but they have so many 5-man items that it basically is one anyway.
Mm-hmm. And more importantly, Lycan is above the Nature's Prophet in net worth. And this is like a very farm-heavy build coming out from Bulldog. So that's really scary, because Lycan just does not have the mobility. Well, he does now with the BOTs.
Yeah, probably BOT level 2s before long. Too bad you can't ban items against teams in Dota 2.
And they're trying the usual scouting tricks with the Nature's Prophet Treants, but it doesn't really work against the Ghostwalk Invoker, nor the Wolves, nor the Bounty Hunter.
The thing that's really cool about this strategy from Na'Vi is like we've seen teams that kind of like with Lifestealer and Fest where they waste a lot of time inside an ally or creep, they're not farming. You could fall behind in that orc. When you have the Bounty Hunter, you get 1 kill. It makes the whole like 3 minutes of running around completely worth it.
Right. Usually it's like, okay, we can sacrifice EGM, but this game, you don't want to sacrifice anyone. And Treants is still trying to scout out. Not sure if they saw the Ghostwalk from Denny, but surely they will see him now.
Even Artstyle is getting in on the roam. A lonely Venge on a jaunt through the trees. Now what does he see? He sees Bulldog. Force-staff into a swap. BOTs are coming. Bulldog force-staffs himself right into the waiting arms of the General, who promptly complies by lassoing and almost killing, though he is going to get the kill in the end. Dendy, though, is in a bit far. Yule Scepter onto the Queen of Pain. Seneco's arrived. Reinforcements coming in. Hard and fast for Na'Vi. Charging towards S4. They kill off the egg. They kill off S4. They move on to Loda. They're mowing them down. Alliance drop 4. It's a wipe! Na'Vi just completely wrecking them.
You could not leave a Lycan unchecked like that in a team fight with all his minions running around, and that amazing display of coordination from Na'Vi all facing and just killing that Phoenix.
It all started with a Venge with an Invis rune, and within 15 seconds, all 5 heroes are there.
Yeah, and that's your highest network hero gone. S4 is not even that close to Nature's Prophet. But no damage coming out of the team fights. They had to blow everything to kill the Invoker.
Na'Vi, after the way this series began, losing game 1. Game 2, feeling like it was Alliance in the driver's seat, pushing in all the lanes, free farm Naga Siren, ratting it up and completely outmap controlling them. They dragged that game 2 back. They got Megas, they gave up 2 lanes of Rax, then managed to force out the GG. They cleanly sweep through 2 full lanes of Rax here at the 34-minute mark and leave Alliance's hopes of advancing hanging by a mere thread.
I think Artstyle has really impressed me with this farm in this entire series, being 3rd on Na'Vi's team in games 1 and 2. And he's almost the same net worth as the Queen of Pain in this game.
Hurricane Pike Venge already.
That's going to be fun.
Bounty Hunter Dota. So we do see the Dire Courier flying out now. Looks like a completed Mjolnir picked up. I mean, at this point, Alliance, they're very committed to not fighting. So Bulldog gets more split push here. Perhaps later on can throw this on the Slardar. But Na'Vi getting the bigger items. There's a BKB on Bat, and Bat, how do they deal with that? There's no counter for a BKB lasso. They have no swap. They have no way to purge the lasso. They can't stun the Bat Rider. It's already been free kills.
I kind of like what the panel said last game. It's like, yeah, you can split push all you want, but eventually you're going to have to win a big team fight. And Alliance don't seem like they're geared up for that eventual team fight that they have to win, just constantly dodging and dodging and dodging. But what happens when Na'Vi are pushing up your T30 with Aegis, with Cheese, with BKBs? How are they going to take it?
Well, we're about to find out. They mow down the Roshan. Dityara with 4,300 gold bank. Dendy grabbing the Nags. Aegis into the Lycan's inventory. They can get that Abyssal Blade now.
And you don't even want to look at this gold graph.
As you look at it like 5 times.
You don't want to look at it.
Avert your eyes. This is not family-friendly entertainment right now. Especially not for the Alliance fans. But it is happening, whether you try to cover your children's eyes or not. And Na'Vi continue to make things happen. The BKB debut, the last is on S4. Can they get that kill as well? Lycan chopping at him, but can't finish him off there. Pretty good counter initiation from the Phoenix of Ake to hang on and look to turn this fight still, though he holds the Aegis. Alliance need a lot more than just a Bounty Hunter kill to really turn this game around. They desperately race through the trees. They're looking for that bat, but he escapes to the north. He roams. He TPs, and he is going to make it out. That's all they get. After all that, a sick play by Ake nets them a Bounty Hunter kill.
And they still have the Aegis.
And they're actually going high ground into this. Alliance feeling like borderline desperate at this point. Creeps are actually hitting tier 4 towers. They're committing hard to this push, but Na'Vi are ready for it. Artstyle engaging forward. Loda trying to set up the follow-up here to the Queen of Pain ult that comes in. diving pretty far for this one, but Ditya just auto-attack him in regular werewolf form is going to get the kill. S4 almost dies to his claws. Ake's there. So much delicious food, but General's in too deep. He will end up dropping. Bulldog looks to trot away. It's like, number 2, and he's off to the races here. Can Alliance TP out? Who's got one? They're all going to need him. EGM has one, but he can't even get it off as he's about to fall to the wolves. They munch him up. They kill off the bird too. Alliance just can't handle Ditya. Beyond godlike, nobody can kill this man. And even after all that, Alliance, another 1,200 gold swing against them.
He is deceptively tanky with 29.
He didn't even lose Aegis.
29 armor. He has a fair amount of block from the Abyssal Blade. They couldn't touch him.
He's just going to heal himself up as he marches down top.
I think
While
Alliance,
Dendi is looking for kills.
Super desperate at that
Wait,
point.
the Bat Rider. No, I don't know if he needs it. Dendi might be able to kill Bulldog off on his own. He's going in there, laying into the dog. He pops him there. An easy grab. Orchid working its magic.
So many heroes that can
He's
deal
doing that with a
Bulldog.
gem, by the way. He is diving their base solo while burying the gem. Dendi does not care because he knows the team can come. BOTs are up. Bat Rider also going to join the fray. Na'Vi parading towards top. This could be the death march. Confidently looking to strut up onto high ground. Rubik will buy his own gem. And General hunts, he gets Loda, drags him in again. It's another track kill, but Na'Vi don't need gold. They just need dead bodies to litter this map so they can wipe Alliance and the rest of them off. And they get the second kill here. Rubik down, already bought the gem, doesn't have the buyback. Loda buys back, but he only crushes Seneko, and it feels like this is how it ends for Alliance. Not with a bang. This is a whimper. This is ugly. Even a Sunstrike massacring Alliance, running them down. This is not family friendly at all, and there it is. GG. You give Na'Vi every last one of their signature heroes, and they just run circles around Alliance.
I heard you call them EGM, and I was like, dang, don't put him down like that, LD.
EGM. Ugly. Ugly way to finish the series for Alliance. Felt like they could have taken it 2-0, and you got to give credit to Na'Vi. They had an entire game plan built around the Bounty Hunter track hold, and they executed it to perfection here.
The General's Bat Rider really showing his strength right there, and certainly to get a huge morale boost after that game number 2.
Is it time to start banning boots of travel 2 against Na'Vi? That is the real question heading into day 3 of the Manila Major.
And the crowd is on their feet as they watch Dendi and the rest of Na'Vi walk out from their booth.
They live to fight another day here in the lower bracket. It was not easy, though. This is not a team that made it simple. They had to work, they had to claw to take this game, Ben, but take it they did. And with that, to wrap up the day, to talk more about the Na'Vi survival story, it's back to the paddle.
Thanks very much, LD and Mulaney, with our final day commentary. Our series has come to a close, and what a series it was. Yet another classic goes in the history books. This time it's Na'Vi that come out ahead, winning 2-1. Let's get the thoughts of our panel now. We'll start with Charlie. We hyped the game up. We said it was going to be great. We said the series was going to be great. We weren't disappointed on that scale.
Absolutely not. Very back and forth, and you saw the classic Alliance style of split push, rat, against the very aggressive run at you style of Na'Vi. And in this meta, run at you, win team fights, that is what wins games.
Yeah, and it was just like very small things just ended up adding up and giving Na'Vi such a big advantage. Seneco's positioning all across the map was pretty much ideal, and we did see that one Roshan fight was pretty much the most crucial moment in the entire game.
Yeah, and it got messed up because S4 wasted his ultimate trying to kill Seneko on the Bounty Hunter, that one little gank turnaround. Because they didn't have that, he didn't have his ulti in the next fight. Loda gets cliffed by the Bat Rider, and then they lose the first fight, they buy back on 2, and then they don't end up getting Roche anyways. Or they did get it, but I believe it went on Quap instead, and when Loda actually really needed it. But
and
it
they
was
lost
contested.
it.
So.
They lost the Aegis right away. They lost Loda right afterwards, right after the Roshan was taken as well. And you could just see the resilience coming out from Na'Vi in this third game.
They just didn't have good damage to translate after that is the problem.
Yeah.
And the other thing, of course, is that whilst we'll praise Na'Vi for winning, Alliance never gave up. They're still stuck in there even when it looked completely hopeless towards the end of that game, and they were still trying to win the game.
Yeah, and I think you're always going to see that out of these two teams. competitors with a lot of respect for each other, a lot of respect for the game. They are going to fight it out until the end.
Yep, never say die attitude from both of them. As it ends, it is a 2-1 victory for Na'Vi. They'll move on now, and they face Team Liquid in the next round. So that's a tough match ahead of them. But I'm imagining they'll be okay with that after coming through the group stages, impressing in the quarterfinals in the upper bracket, now again in the lower bracket.
Yeah, I mean, they got to beat the good teams eventually, and they've gone through a lot of teams now. They've got to be really happy with their positioning at the moment. Beating Alliance was a tough road. The next one's going to be tougher, but if you look at how Liquid got to the lower bracket, it was through a hyper-aggressive team, so maybe Na'Vi can win that one too.
Yeah, and like Charlie was saying, this meta right now is the run at you meta, and Na'Vi, it's perfect for them. It's like what we've been talking about for a long time, and here we do see the Roshan fight. General gets the lasso up on Loda, puts him on the high ground, and he's completely isolated up there. There's no way for him to get down. No TP, and they can't take the Roshan, and the fight just becomes a complete disaster.
They just had no Batrider counters. It was the story of the game. They'd get lassoed and somebody would die almost every single time. Like if you had Sonic Wave right there, all those heroes are at about half HP. Maybe he bursts them down. Maybe he gets General and Dendi right there. Guaranteed he could, but it's just too scary to go back in.
This is also the story of the tournament where it's just heroes that are hard to kill, cores that are hard to kill, like Lycan, make winning team fights so difficult for the other side.
Yeah.
If you look at Alliance's heroes, on the other hand, you have Queen of Pain, very squishy, Furion, very squishy, and then Slardar, which is not that tanky, especially when you have Sprint on.
Yeah, and I really want to I know there's just we were talking about it too between all of us. Who's the MVP in this game? Because everybody on Na'Vi played absolutely excellent, and I think Na'Vi Dendi going for this Quas Wex build was a huge advantage to them as well. You constantly saw everybody on the side of Alliance just out of mana, unable to cast their spells in those team fights.
Yeah, especially Loda. That's really important. If Slardar can't stun and he's getting chain stun, then he's not contributing anything. Not even close to what a Lycan can do. For example, I just think the Slardar didn't really match their playstyle fully. I know they've had a lot of success with it, but if they lose those early mid-game team fights, the game just becomes super one-sided. And the heroes that Alliance had to deal with it, most of them were banned out.
Yeah, and if you look at a lot of these fights, it's very hard for Alliance to deal damage, especially with the item build that Bulldog went. He went Midas into Agnum Scepter into Force Staff. Not real fighting items. It's very split pushy, and when it comes down to it, he just becomes a walking bag of gold.
And it was kind of the same thing for Loda. We've been seeing more people going for that armlet build on the Slardar, but he still is going for that Vanguard build, which does limit your damage.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard Admiral Bulldog described as a walking bag of gold before. Thank you for that, Charlie. It's a vision I won't ever shake.
Typical Charlie.
It was a very slow death loss for Alliance there. Definitely looked like it was coming long before the end, but they tried their best. Just that Roche fight really needed to go their way. If they win that fight handily, they get Aegis, they can start taking team fights with towers, things like that. Let Slardar take it, he hits buildings, tanks the lasso. It could have changed everything, but when all these kills happen and they have track world on top of that, it's just not going to go well for them.
Yeah.
Final GG moments of the series. So Na'Vi making their way through the lower bracket, of course, and Alliance, unfortunately, that is where their road ends here at the Manila Major. Let's discuss exactly what's in store for them, because it's been a reasonable tournament. I don't think we can say it's been a good, and I know that Loda definitely won't agree that it's been a good, but being okay. They've shown flashes of brilliance, actually, in some of the group stage games and in the lower bracket as well.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought they would go minimum one round further. I think they're definitely going to be disappointed with the results. They did about okay. They did all right. They just didn't do super well.
Yeah.
And going into the next tournament, I don't think this guarantees them an invite by any means.
No, I don't think it does either. They finish outside of the top 8, and then beyond this tournament, their only real sort of achievements have been prior to the Shanghai Major, so nothing too relevant recently, and they'll really need to step up and perform in the next coming months.
MVP for the game? General?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
General.
Yeah. I mean, it was close because Sonika had a great game, Dendy had a great game, DJ Wright had a fantastic game. So
Archstyle had an amazing game. Like it was extremely difficult.
We say
to
this
call
every
this.
time about Navi's wins, is that the team performs as a whole. So it's always so hard for us to pick an MVP out of them, because when they win, it's because everybody does well.
Yeah. Okay. We've still got a little bit more to come from the Manila Major. We're not quite done yet, although it's about 12:15 local time. We've been here for some 16 and a quarter hours, but we're not done just yet. Let's hear from the man of the moment, Dendy's with Sir Action Snakes.
Woo! Hear that crowd, buddy. These guys have never given up on you, and man, this crowd is just on fire for Navi. Woohoo! All right, man, you managed to do it. El Clasico, Navi taking out the Old Rivals Alliance. It was one of the hypest series I've ever seen. How was it for you guys?
Well, those games were really nervous for us. We tried our best, and but Alliance is really good, so not much to say, guys. I know you chant Dandy a lot, and it's really warming my heart. It really is. But guys, I am just a part of a team. I'm 1 out of 5 guys. I'm 20% and not more. So please, if you chant for us, chant Navi, okay?
No.
Because I really feel a little bit sad for my teammates when you do so. I mean, we deserve everything as much as I do.
Absolutely, cannot agree more. And ladies and gentlemen, Navi, the entire team just came full force. Let's talk about that team. In game 2, your team is up against that Naga Siren. You guys have to go all in. And if there's one word I can describe with Navi, it would be trust. I mean, you guys know when to go in and when to back each other up. How did you form that kind of team play, and how do you get that level of trust on Navi?
Well, we were slowly improving tournaments by tournaments, and that's how it is.
So you just build it up by being buddies and playing together, huh?
Yeah, we enjoy each other's company. We are pretty good together, and everything is working out for us, so I'm really happy.
Absolutely. All right, in that last game, you guys got a lot of the picks that you love getting. I mean, you got Lycan, you got Invoker, you got Bounty. These are all Navi staples. Which one are you most excited about getting in that last one?
Well, Lycan was pretty good pickup for us in this game, and everything rolled out after that. Everything worked out. So.
All right, man. Well, we said it all. It ain't all about Dendy. Just a little bit of words about your teammates. What do you think that they did well? What things did you see as one guy that's seen a lot of Dota in his time? Tell us some stuff that your homies did.
Well, we were all pretty nervous, and we were not playing our best game. Everyone is probably on this scene with a lot of people in front, and Sonika was very chilled those games, so I think he pretty much put the most impact in our games.
Yeah, he was absolutely the rock of the games. All right, man. Well, you guys beat your old rivals Alliance. You've done it in El Clasico. But now you got to face the present and one of the best teams out there, Team Liquid. Can you bring the same amount of hype that you just brought us in that last series against Team Liquid?
I hope so.
Well, I'm sure you will. All right, Dendy, thank you so much for your time. One more time, guys. Your fan favorites, I think, here. Navi and the rest. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and back to the panel.
Thank you very much. Dendy down on the floor there, always magnanimous he is in defeat or winning as well. He's pointing out that he has a team behind him. Before we close up the night, we're going to get the final thoughts of our panel. Before we do that, though, let's take a look at the brackets and update you exactly where we are. We've had 2 more upper bracket games today that have completed, so we now know our semi-final for the upper bracket. MVP will take on OG, and Newbie will take on Fnatic. In the lower bracket, we've had 2 more matches today. Team Liquid winning 2-0 against Complexity. Complexity going out in 9th to 12th. They will be joined by Alliance, who went down 2-1 in our final game of the day. Navi coming through that one. Let's get the final thoughts of our panel. Charlie, what stood out for you today?
Everything. The crazy games, everything, but I want to highlight Fnatic's performance. They performed in front of their home crowd. DJ just, I think, blew everybody's minds. The presence of mind to continuously catch at least 3 heroes in a black hole every single time, that was amazing.
33 in the game, by the way.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick an MVP of the day, he definitely gets it.
Yep. I couldn't agree more with Charlie, honestly. That's exactly what I was thinking of as soon as you said it. First thing that popped in my mind was...
He's just stealing your ideas now, Charlie. What are you going to do about this?
I know where you sleep.
You also know what his favourite phrase is as well, right, Fox? Don't push him. It's late, right? Don't push him too much.
I can tell he's tired. It's okay. I'm all right with this.
I think my favorite part of the day, other than the Fnatic series, was seeing that Newbie has some cracks, that they can be beaten. They looked extremely strong leading the day out, but going 2-1 against DC, a little unexpected. So, I mean, who's going to win the whole tournament? I have no idea. There's so many good teams left over.
Yeah, it's really up in the air now, isn't it?
Yep.
Really up in there. We started coming in here a week or so ago, and everyone was like, nah, it's Team Liquid. They're ahead of everyone else. No one can beat Team Liquid right now. We've already seen them beaten once. It's a pretty open field right now in terms of who's going to win. Our community votes and talent votes look like this right now. The greyed out teams are those that have left us.
I think they're winning.
If you look at the talent right now in terms of the top 10, we're actually getting beaten, guys. The community are ahead right now. Only just, but they have 7 of the top 8 so far still in.
EG is still in the tournament, I see.
Actually, that's a small mistake. So
that would mess up theirs.
But we both lose on that one, so it's not really that good. The top 5, however, doing okay still in the tournament, apart from Wings. So, I don't know. It's fairly even, I think. It's fairly. Are you still confident that talent are going to win, Charlie?
No.
Confidence.
Not really.
No. The long
All I'm going to say is that I'm probably going to pick up Korean pretty soon.
Right. That's probably a good idea. So managing MVP confirmed here on the panel. Thank you very much to all 3 of you, Charlie, Fogged, and to Purge, and to all of our panelists throughout the day, and of course our commentary team, our observers, Wapafs and Scriff, Knoxville in the background as well. We're going to leave you with one of my favourite parts of the Philippines, the crowd, with Sir Action Slacks getting it on.
Hey guys, this is Slacks. I thought if you can't be at the major, why don't I just show you what it looks like from the crowd, and we'll give you an insider scoop with some of the fans that are here already. That's pretty good, right? A little happy face on the horse. There we go. Thank you. All right, here we go. Then they angle down. Don't cover up the lady. There we go.
1, 2, 3, and...
You're a pro. There we go. Wow. Hey. What is this? Are you gonna sleep at the major?
No, it's a...
Look. Oh!
Well, and that's your first blood there. That's a nice little combo. With the skeletons out, a lot of units to get that heal balance off.
And it's a black hole! Are you alive? Are you okay? No? Oh, this dude's dead. This dude's dead. Hello? Anything there? Are you having a good time so far, sir? How are we doing here? What do you think of the major so far? Action-packed? I'll let you go back to sleep. Sorry about that. We've seen a lot of Dota. What has been your favorite match so far?
The First Blood on Mineski versus Alliance.
Oh! You gotta be careful here, man. All right, cool. Thank you so much, man. Have a good time. All right, sir. Hey there, how's it going? Oh, yes. You enjoying this game here?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. What's it like to be in the arena? What's your favorite part of all this?
The crowd, the cheering, the screaming, everything.
Absolutely. What do you think about the light show? Good stuff, or is it blinding you? You okay with all the lights and smoke?
Sometimes it's right in my eyes, so it's kind of hard to see.
Kind of hard to see. Come on, that's what Dota is. It's an assault on all the senses, right?
Yeah, the memes.
The memes. All right, guys. Oh my God! Are you okay? Oh! All right, I'm here with a fan. What was your name?
My name's James.
All right, man. Now you are bringing out these signs here. We gotta have a. Oh, nice, representing the Twitch chat.
Yeah.
How you liking the event so far?
I'm liking it just as much as the other event in Manila before.
Oh, wow! What a very diplomatic answer. Very good.
Of course.
So, is it cool that we got these events in Manila now? I heard that there wasn't too much going on before this stuff.
Yeah, really. It's just going to show how much passion Filipino fans have for Dota as a whole.
Yeah, I think we've heard the passion that Filipino fans have, right, guys? Yeah. Yeah, that will do it. So, anything to show with these signs? What do you usually do? What's your style? Run me down with the signs.
Well, the Bible thump is for the Chinese teams that are going to get wrecked by the Western teams.
Oh my god! Oh my god! And then the Kappa. What do we use that for?
What are they gonna do against us?
No. Okay. Perfect. What was your name?
James, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Where are you from?
Australia.
Yeah. How was the commute over here?
Mate,
Was it good?
it was a long commute.
How many hours are we talking, man?
At least 10.
All right, so a 10-hour commute to come over here and see the major in Manila. Give it to me straight. Was it worth it? You can't. Jeez, now we gotta edit out the Carson.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Hey, you're Australian. I don't blame you. What are you gonna do? All right, so who do you think's gonna be taking this thing?
MVP for sure.
MVP. A rare suggestion there. Any reason why?
They're going to come back and they're going to kick OG.
Oh, now we gotta edit that one out. Man, it's some PG stuff, man. Yeah, it's very PG.
They're going to kick their butt.
Ah, there we go. All right, man. You're a pleasure. Enjoy the thing.